downstairs sitting room. This is the first room on the right-hand side when you enter the home. This is on the first floor. Currently, I call it the chair room. And there's lots of furniture being consigned and clothing in here as well. The reason I'm bringing you in here is although we are not doing any work on this room currently, we had been. We had gotten to a point where we were going to re-mud and remove some tape and fill some cracks and kind of tighten that crack up and kind of just go with it until like future, like down the road. However, keep in mind, well, sorry, I'm mumbling here, but I'm trying to do a little thought experiment here. This home was inhabited by two elderly people, a married couple who had children all over the country. They were both in their 70s and 80s and predominantly used the newer part of the house, which is right through there and up there, okay? So this area of the home really wasn't used, nor were the bedrooms upstairs directly above this area. Okay, their main bedroom was the one that is above the dining room right here. Great ceiling, by the way. Okay, so keeping that in mind and keeping in mind in the fact that they bought this home, let's say, I think 2002, 2003, maybe that's wrong, maybe it's 2004. Anyway, they were in this house 15 years, okay? Not a lot of activity, not a lot of foot traffic, not a lot of parties or gaga ball fests, nothing like that. Elderly people living predominantly in the other part of the house. So now, here we are. My mom and I have taken ownership, and I've got people in and out all the time. I am moving stuff up and down, round and round, stomping, rolling. I have a toddler running. I have a 13-year-old jumping. Just lots of activity. And this activity has started to, I believe, present some symptoms of things in this house that we did not see before. So for example, when I first looked at the ceiling, this crack was probably that big, okay? We kind of focused upstairs because we want to get our mom up there. But I focused upstairs, and our ceiling guy kind of was working on the upstairs ceiling and noticed he started having crack issues on the second floor. Every time he came back, he would mud, come back, and there would be a hairline. He'd mud it, let it dry, come back, there'd be a hairline again. So it kept re-cracking. Then he kind of came down here, and we both were like, geez, that's way bigger than it was. Way bigger. And now we're starting to see pronounced lines here and here. Crisscross, vertical, horizontal, you name it. Plus, there's a significant dip in this ceiling. I'm trying to not fall. You can see that it's up here and begins to fall up and sort of just a little hodgepodgey. We're not totally sure what's going on, but that was part of the thing that made us decide to go ahead and rip out that flooring that's in the master bedroom, is because once we get that sort of done, we know we're gonna have to pull all this ceiling out because something is going on that we don't like, but we can't quite tell yet, although we are suspicious. So we see how this is high, go up because we're kind of being pulled, and then a dip again. So what's this dip? What's happening? So potentially something with our foundation, okay? So this is going to be pulled out and reworked at some point in the future, but it is definitely less. It's less on the priority list, but still, fantastic sitting room, fantastic. Look at this, this is beautiful. That'll probably stay exactly how it is. Anyway, downstairs, main room, leaded glass. One other thing I want to mention before I shut off here is anybody that builds a house knows that when you install crown molding, you sort of want pieces to run the length of the wall. You want them to be one continuous piece. Number one, it's easier to install. Number two, it tends to be cheaper. And number three, it's less labor intensive. All of these ceilings have chop, 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 piece, 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 piece. Now why? Why would they do that? So your first thought is like, were they lazy? Did they just have a bunch of extra pieces and they just wanted to do that? Well, no. If you have a ceiling that is not flat and it's curvy and wavy and bending and drooping and pitching, the only way to get your crown molding to even remotely hug the ceiling is to do smaller pieces. So, although I was initially irritated because I thought somebody had kind of shorted the job and were just bad at measuring or reading numbers, I realized it was because of a necessity. Now, these are painted horribly. I don't feel like they finished the job. You can see the brush marks through the paint, maybe. I hope you can. I hope that transfers. But that's an interesting fact. This is another interesting fact. Wallpaper's not installed very well. I don't know what this situation is here. It's almost like I think they've maybe added a vent, potentially. But you come down in here, and why is there a hole? Why? What did we do? What did we do here? And I stupidly shoved my hand in that hole, and yeah, there is a large honking happening outside. Okay, so that is living room 1.